Hello everyone, I'm there in Silver. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing some Great League battles featuring the new Shadow Claw Feraligator. I used this team for 2 sets and I got a 9-1 score with this team, which is amazing. So let's get into the battles and check out this team in action. Into the first match, we have Chargebug versus Caracosta. Amazing lead for us. And Caracosta is also using Water Gun, which is amazing. Opponent switched out into his Lapras. I'm gonna go for this discharge to do massive damage, or opponent shields the charge move. I'm gonna go for another discharge. This should force the shield, but opponent decided not to shield, so I'm gonna just farm down the Lapras, and opponent comes in with his Obstagoon. So here I can go for Accessor. Accessor does super effective damage on the Obstagoon, and opponent decided to shield. So I switched out into my Hakumo, and I have 2 shield advantage against opponent, so I can throw Brick Break to one-shot this Obstagoon, and after that I can throw another Brick Break on the Caracosta too. I think Brick Break from this range should one-shot, but let's see. So I'm gonna go for Brick Break, and Brick Break almost one-shots the Caracosta, and we farm down the Caracosta for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Chargerwork versus Kawite. Bad matchup for us, so I'm gonna switch out into my uh, Feraligator. Opponent caught the move on his own Feraligator, so I'm gonna go for Hydro Cannon, and thankfully opponent decided to shield because I didn't want it to throw Hydro Cannon on the Feraligator, so I'm gonna go for Crunch. Crunch does neutral damage and did a lot did a decent amount of damage, so here I can just shield and farm down this opponent's Feraligator and get the switch back, and this is really good for us as now I can pair my Hakamo with that Gavite, and Gavite has access to Fire Punch and Dig, so it's pretty solid matchup for my Hakamo. So I'm gonna go for another crunch against this Blastoise. Opponent decided to no shield, and here opponent does not have any shield. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Hydro Cannon, and Hydro Cannon should KO Blastoise from this range. And now I'm gonna come in with my Hakamo. I'm gonna no shield this move. I can survive one move easy, and opponent is going for the Twister, which is interesting moveset, and now I can just farm down Gavite for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Dunsparce versus Chargework. Badly for us, so I switched out into my Feraligator. Opponent comes in with his Revenant. I'm gonna go for Crunch to either one shot or take the shield. Opponent decided to shield, so I'm gonna just go for Shadow Claw down. But I made a misplay of throwing this Hydro Cannon. I shouldn't have thrown it that way. I could have had a lot of energy to throw at the Dunsparce. Now I have zero energy, so here I'm gonna shield the move because I want to do some damage on this Dunsparce. There's no need for it, but I wanna do it. So I'm gonna go for Hydro Cannon. Opponent no shields the charge move, which is good for us. And here opponent throws the his charge move just before I get to another Hydro Cannon. Second Hydro Cannon could have KO'd Dunsparce. So I'm gonna come in with my Hakamo, and I will just completely farm down this Dunsparce. I can take one Drill Run, and opponent's final Pokemon is Clodsire, which is tricky for us because Clodsire, I don't want to see Clodsire here. So I'm gonna go for Dragon Claws, and to win this matchup, I have to catch the move. So I'm gonna go into my Chargebug catching the Earthquake, and this is a nice catch for me. So here, opponent will have to throw another Earthquake. Otherwise, I can like get to two Accessor. As you can see, Accessor did like half damage of all the health Clodsire had left. And if opponent lets me get to another Accessor, then I can either force this final shield or KO this Clodsire. Both works for me because opponent will have to throw his energy regardless, and after that I can farm down the Clodsire with my Hakamo. So GG's to my opponent. Into the next match, we have Chargebug versus Azumarill. Terrific lead for us, so I'm gonna just go for discharge here, and I think opponent will no shield. If they decide to no shield, then I will straight go for full farm down, one shield farm down, and I will have a lot of energy against the next two mons. So opponent realizing my intentions switches out into Toxic Rogue. I'm gonna go for discharge, and opponent decided to shield. So I'm gonna go for another discharge, forcing the final shield. And if opponent shields, then I will come in with my Feraligator, and I will try to sweep the game with my Feraligator because I have one shield left and I have shield advantage. Like I had shield advantage. So Hydro Cannon from this range will one shot the Toxic Rogue, and opponent comes in with his Azumarill. I'm gonna go for full farm down. Opponent gets to the move, and I'm hoping that this is not a play rough. And it wasn't. It was just a ice beam, and I have almost two Hydro Cannons loaded. First Hydro Cannon does 50% damage on the Greninja, and second Hydro Cannon will one shot the Greninja for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Chargeborg versus Gastrodon. Bad lead for me, so I'm gonna switch out into my Feraligator, and here I'm not getting any signs that opponent will switch out, so that's why I will go for back to back to back Hydro Cannon. So I'm gonna shield this move, and then I will go for another Hydro Cannon, and if opponent decides to shield, then I will throw my third Hydro Cannon to win the switch. So I'm gonna go for my third Hydro Cannon, and Hydro Cannon one shots the Gastrodon for the switch, and opponent comes in with his Dedenne. So Dedenne here is a core breaker to my team, especially against all three monsters. Dedenne can win. Thankfully, opponent is not running good charge move, and he's not running 1500 CP mons, which I will advise opponent to run good right moveset mons and 1500 CP mons, so that he can have better chances at winning the games. I will like try my best to win the game. So here, opponent goes for the charge move, which is parabolic charge. If it would have been like a player off, it would have done like 50% damage on the charge bug. I'm gonna go for another Exeter to KO the Dedenne, and opponent's final Pokemon is Drapion. And after like KOing my charge, after like KOing that Dedenne with my charge bug, I would have came in with my Hakamo to take care of this Drapion if opponent would have had 1500 CP Mon with the right moveset. But because I would have won this game regardless if they had a good moveset and good CP Mon, or like this bad moveset and 1300 CP Mons. So GG's to my opponent, and this is the first set of World of Wonders season. So this is the starting first set in the World of Wonders season. So this is the first set of my World of Wonders season, which was a 5 set, which is really good. So into the next match, here we have Takutuko, I guess. We have Charjabug versus Talonflame. This is a neutral matchup, and here I realized that Incinerates are doing a lot of damage, so that's why after throwing one discharge and getting the shield advantage, I will switch out into my Feraligator. Both Feraligator and Hakamo have a really good matchup against Talonflame because uh, they resist fire type charge moves, but they do not resist fly or brave word. That's so we need shield. As we have shield, we can both for alligator and Hakamo has a good chance at beating Talonflame. I'm gonna go of this charge move because I don't need for the alligator anymore. I'm gonna come in with my charge bug, and I will go for the discharge to KO this Polydeath, and then I'm hoping that whatever is in the back is weak to my Hakamo, and that my Hakamo can beat it. And it is going to be a fish cast, which is good for me, as now I can just go for Dragon Claws. This is a good matchup for Hakamo. I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw. Opponent shields up the Dragon Claw, and here I will no shield this charge move, and then I will throw Brick Break to get the attack or defense buff, I guess. I don't know which debuff I will get. I'm gonna go for Brick Break. Uh, okay, Brick Break drops the defense, so here Whiskas gets to the move. This move will KO my Hakamo, and then Chargeback gets the Volt Switch down for the win. GG's. Into the next match, we have Chargeback versus Chargeback. Neutral lead, so here I have to switch in. I have to stay in this matchup because I cannot switch out into my Feraligator. Then opponent will have a good matchup against my Feraligator with his Chargeback. So I'm gonna stay in this matchup. I'm gonna go for Accessor, and I will go for another Accessor. I think I won the CMP tie, and this Accessor does a decent amount of damage, and now I can just let go of this charge move, and I will switch it into my Feraligator to get the energy advantage. But this switch is bad for me, as I got walled by Whipping Well, and here I got to the charge move and forced the shield, which is good for me. And now I will come in with my Hakamo, and I will go straight for the farm down. Opponent gets to the charge move with 1 HP and a dream, so I'm gonna shield this charge move, and opponent's final Pokemon is going to be Quagsire. So here I'm gonna go for Dragon Claws, and I will go for another Dragon Claw. I have to shield this move, and after that I have to catch a charge move to win this game. I'm gonna go for another Dragon Claw. This will force the shield, and after that I'm gonna go for another charge move. And here I'm predicting that Quagsire will get to its charge move, so I switch into my Quags charge work to catch the move and win the game. G's. Yeah, GG's. Into the next match, we have Chargebook versus Pidgeot. Amazing lead for me, so I'm gonna stay in this matchup and I will go for the discharge. Opponent and opponent rocking Gust on his Pidgeot. He can run like a wing attack to have more much amazing matchup. So opponent goes for the feather dance. I shield up the move because one brave word would have KO'd me, and I didn't want it that to happen. Opponent lets go of his Pidgeot and comes in with his Espeon. I'm gonna go for Accessor, forcing the second shield or KO the Espeon. Opponent decided to shield, so I'm gonna come in with my Feraligator. I'm gonna shield this move because I think it could have been a Shadow Ball or Psychic, but it was just a Psychic Fangs wrong shield on my part. I'm gonna go for Hydro Cannon, and after that, I switched out into my Hakamo, hoping that whatever is in the back will be weak to my Hakamo, but that is not the case, as Tropius can easily beat both of my mounts. It can throw Aerialist to do a lot of damage on my Hakamo, and it can throw Leaf Blade on my Feraligator. So I guess this is the one loss that I got with in my two sets of 9-1 score. So yeah, GG's to my opponent. He played really well. Into the next match, we have Charjabok versus Karmadi. Amazing lead for me. So opponent switches out into his Dragonair. I'm gonna go for one Xyzal, and if opponent shields up this charge move, I think I will switch out into my uh, Hakamo. Oh, okay. I thought I will switch out into my Feraligator, but I switched out into my Hakamo. I farmed down the Dragonair, and opponent comes in with his Dragonite. So I'm gonna go for Dragon Claw. Opponent shields up the charge move, which is good for me. Now I can come in with my. I guess I should come in with my Feraligator because I can leave my charge work for the Skarmory. I'm gonna shield this charge move, and after that I will go for the Hydro Cannon to force the shield. If opponent shields the charge move, I will go completely farm down this Dragonite by shielding the charge and this charge move. And I also could have like no shielded this charge move and could have farmed down this Dragonite with my charge work and could have like two discharges to KO the Skarmory, but we win regardless. Like whatever we do, we will win this game. So we are gonna go for discharge to win the game. G's. Into the final match, we have Chargebook versus Azumarill. So in this matchup, what I usually do is throw one discharge, and after that, I go for the full farm down. So here I'm gonna shield this charge move because I want to keep my charge work healthy. I'm gonna go for discharge, and let's see what opponent decides to do. Opponent shields up the discharge, so I will go for another discharge. And if opponent shields this discharge as well, which is good for me, now I can match the shields as well. It's a choice if I want to shield or not. I decided to shield, and now I realized that Azumarill might get to the another charge move. That's why I decided to throw this energy, and then opponent comes in with his Leodantis. I'm gonna go for Accessor doing super effective damage, and I could have gotten to another Accessor, but opponent decided to throw the charge move, which KO, which Chargebox survives and gets to the final discharge. Final Accessor KOs the Ludantis, and opponent's final Pokemon is Skarmory, which is fine, which is almost fine. I cannot come in with my Hakamo. Oh, I'm gonna come in with my uh, Feraligator. I'm gonna go for this Hydrocan. This will do like 50% damage, and then I catch the move on my Hakamo. This is going to be either a Brave Bird or Sky Attack. Opponent decided to go for the Brave Bird. We come in with my Feraligator, go for the Hydrocan for the win. G's. So this is going to be my 4-1 set. One loss where that Tropius swept. So thanks everyone for watching. If you liked the video, Consider if you enjoyed the video, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.